I'm Purva Bhatt, your host today. Today is the ninth episode of second season of PSAI Talk Show, and I was specially looking forward to this episode. You will soon find out why. But before we begin the episode, let's get to know each other a little better. Do type in the chat box which part of the world have you joined in from. Good evening, Darshini. Good to have you here. So, welcome to PSAI. Welcome from Cochin. Thank you so much, Darshini. Thank you. Thank you, Nitin from Nagpur. Thank you so much for joining in. Hi, Pallavi. Welcome. Welcome to PSAI. Professional Speakers Association of India is a global platform for aspiring and established speakers. PSAI is a part of Global Speaker Federation, an organization of national speaking associations of 16 countries. The PSAI Talk Show is a live show packed with insights and values for speakers, coaches, trainers, and consultants. Welcome everyone. Chimmu, Shinish, Adir, Neena ma'am, welcome to the talk show. Now, I joined PSAI 2 years back, and our guest today will agree with me when I say that PSAI has not only given us the opportunities to grow, but also a stage to practice and learn. Now, it's time to welcome today's guest and a dear friend of mine, Esther Indurkar. Esther has recently debuted at the TEDx platform. She is a passionate speaker, an award winning mentor, and a strong advocate of leading a purpose driven life. She is a lifelong learner of human behavior. Her work revolves around mindset, thoughts, and beliefs. Esther has more than 17 years of experience working with the first line entrepreneurs, HR professionals in the corporate industry. She now follows her passion of bringing in a shift in the lives of our youth and women by making them emotionally and mentally stronger with a positive perspective towards all the challenges of life. Her specialty lies in mindset transformation, peak performance, and empowerment for youth and adults alike. She believes that mindfulness in every sphere of life is the key to successful life, both personally and professionally. Now, this is the interesting fact. Esther does not settle for anything less than a standing ovation when she is on the stage because she believes in making a mark. Please welcome Esther Indurkar.
Thank you so much, Purva. The last bit, yes, I truly believe in that. So thank you so much for
I
adding
have
that
personally
to my
seen it.
yes. I think a lot of people have in different contexts, but yes, yeah. Thank you.
So, how does it feel to be here on the talk show?
Feels amazing. I was on the other side, listening to all the talk shows from the links, and then to come here. I mean, it's a lovely feeling, when your work get validated, when you start learning, and when you make a mark to be here. So yes, it's lovely to be here.
Okay, so let's begin the conversation. I have few questions for you. And first happens to be how did professional speaking happen? How was your journey in the PSAI?
Okay, to answer this question, I can say that I firmly believe that life never stops teaching. And probably one should never stop learning, is what I really, really believe. And I have also believed in the power of a coach, a mentor, and a community. Being a coach myself, I wanted to be affiliated to a community where I could be with like minded people. I wanted to be in a place which will keep me on my toes. PSI has done that for me. I was looking for a place where learning won't stop for me. So as I entered into the journey of professional speaking, and I was working and doing trainings and stuff, and as my passion of impacting lives grew, I wanted to make sure that I keep honing my skills, my speaking skills, especially, and not become complacent or rest on my laurels. That was my major intention. And so my search was on. I was looking for a place where I can connect together with also learn. And that's when I learned a great deal about how impactful professional speaking could be. Uh, in a way that I can share my message with an audience with an impact. And that's exactly when I found Professional Speakers Association of India. Uh, Talking about my journey in PSAI, it has been very eventful to say the least. You know it. You've been there all through in the last 2 years with me. And I can tell you that it gave me a different and a better understanding of speaking with impact. I got to take up various positions, from being a speaker to a host, managing different responsibilities within the community, learning from speakers, which I didn't otherwise had access to really. And then to top it all, it gave me the opportunity of being the speaker at the PSS 2023 summit, which was a high for me. And yes, PSI also helped me to make some great, great friends like you. And so it has all been very, very enriching. Yeah.
I completely agree. PSAI has given the exposure, the set the context for the speakers, the global exposure to say, and given the exposure to the extent that we have been in connect with lot of global speakers by now. So yes, that's one thing. Coming to the second question, tell us a little bit about your journey into empowering lives. Coaching, training, speaking. How did this happen? How did you arrive at your niche? And what was the catalyst or inspiration for you?
Mm, to say it all, the very first thing, Purva, that I can tell you is, and I must confess, is that I am a late bloomer. My journey of entering into a world of empowering lives it came in from a place of lack that I felt all my growing up years, and also as an adult. Uh, a lot of people know me, and they know me that I have always been a quiet and an introvert person. And that, added with some harsh life experiences, it always made me go deeper into the rabbit hole. And then it is only in my early 30s that I realized that with my condition, I was not just hurting myself, but I was also hurting the people who cared about me a lot. And that's exactly when I decided to shift gears and change my life first, and then be able to support people who, just like me, want that support, to feel empowered. And since then, there is no looking back. So that's how I entered into this journey, shifted my career, and since then, it has always been amazing and enriching.
Wow. A few people have joined in. Hi, Santosh. Welcome. Darshini says, ma'am's speech was incredible at PSA conference.
Thank you, Darshani.
Okay. So, coming to the next question, you are someone who I have known for a while. We have also worked together in several events. Be it as a professional or a speaker, you always speak from the heart. Is that a conscious decision or is that a part of who you are now?
Mm, you know the answer, Purva, but I will still tell you it is who I am. Period. I am naturally an introvert person. I speak very less. I speak only when I have to, and so I choose to use the words very carefully. And so I have a natural disposition to speak from my heart. The very little that I speak has to come from my heart, and that's who I am. And to add a little more to this, in my experience, your listener is intelligent enough to clearly pick your vibes. They know it all. They know if you're real or if you're faking it. And so, when you speak from the heart and you bring that authenticity, uh, you are very magically, you can very magically touch the hidden, deeper pains of your listener, which connects us to them instantly. It's like it just happens like that. And that's when you can expect transformation. But the fact is, there is a harsh truth to it also. And let me tell you that also, that many a times when you speak your heart, you're very authentic, you don't mince your words. Many a times people do not like that, because people do not like to listen uh, unabashed truthfulness. People like tempered down feedbacks, they like mellowed replies, which I struggle to do. Some people like it, the ones who can appreciate honesty and have a maturity to handle it, the ones who know that uh, person and issue are different, they appreciate that, they appreciate the authenticity, and then speaking from the heart becomes all the worth. Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, some people have joined in. Hi, Rama Prasad. Welcome. Rupi Bajaj. Welcome to the talk show. Adir Mathur. Welcome. Okay, so everyone shares stories and personal examples. How else can speakers speak from the heart? Is there a method or a framework that you follow?
I think heart doesn't follow a framework, and so I do not follow any framework. Uh, the good part is that every person tries to share their stories. We all do. We all want to. That's how we connect, right? We share incidences when there is a get together. When we meet friends after so many years, we talk about stories. But somehow we're unable to connect when those stories are put up on the stage. And that's when professional speaking comes into picture really strongly, because that's when how you deliver your message makes a big difference. How your body language is, or how your voice is, the pace and everything, your audience must feel your message or your story more than just listening. And that's how you're able to connect with your audience. You can't follow a framework to instill those emotions which your listeners are looking forward, and wanting to connect with you. And that happens when you come down to their level. That's happened when you speak correctly. And that is why the emphasis on professional speaking makes a big difference for professional speakers.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. I have seen you delivering talks one after another, and I have seen the authenticity with which you deliver, the way you connect with people. So, what is your message for speakers who want to connect with their audience?
uh, if I can share one message, if I can share one thing with speakers, what I can tell you is that accept the fact that it is okay to make mistakes. You are going to make mistakes, and you have to accept the fact that it is okay to make mistakes, because we as speakers, we want to portray a very bulletproof, perfect image in front of our audience. And that is why we miss the fact that it's okay to make mistake. Once you accept that, and then even when you make mistakes, bring your authentic self every single time when you're talking, connecting with your audience, because your audience is not looking for a perfect speaker. They are not. They are looking for someone who is just like them, who is easy to connect with, someone who has grown making mistakes and still standing tall. That yes, I made mistakes, but I still can speak what I feel should be done because I picked it up from my experiences. And that's what your audience wants. They are looking to connect with you, and that will only happen when you meet them a midway and hold their hands and say, if I made a mistake, and I still can change life, so can you. If I made mistakes and I had a lot of hurt and pain in my life, and still I could go get out of it and still do things which I didn't expect, so can you. That's what is our audience looking for. Our audience is not looking for perfect polished speakers, because there's a wall when the perfect polished speaker is not able to connect with them. So that's my message to them.
How lovely is that? How do you come up with this authenticity all the time?
I speak my heart, Purva. I have made, from my last answer which I gave you, I have made a lot of mistakes. I have made a lot of goof ups. And recently at PSS Summit also, I forgot to flip my, change my slide. But then I acknowledged it and I said, "Oh, I forgot to show you this was there." It's okay. But many a times we freeze. That process we have to learn how to, you know, not freeze but say it's okay to be not okay. Okay, they are here to listen to my story. So that's what I do every time. It's not that I don't make mistakes. I make mistakes, I forget my lines. I do a lot of goof up, and in my head I'm really making a line and telling the audience, but then when I forget or I pause, I say, "Oh, let me catch up. I think I forgot something." That's the real self which people want to hear. That we are not perfect people, but we are people who made mistakes, and we are still ready to come and share our stories. That's what makes authenticity, I think.
Perfect, perfect. Now it is, reaching out to the heart. When you are speaking it, you are saying that nobody is perfect. It's perfectly all right to make mistakes. We are all here to embrace each other's imperfections. So,
Yes.
next question is, you recently made your debut on TEDx stage. Tell us about what that experience. How did it happen? How do you see it impacting your speaking journey?
Uh, yes, TEDx recently happened to me, and to be very frank, it just happened. I don't have a formula which I can share with everybody, but I think it's the consistency which I kept in my work. A lot of us do a lot of things, and so what I understood is that TEDx stages look for people who are bringing a story or who are following a journey or a path, and they're consistently doing it to bring the change. And according to me, that matters more for a TEDx stage. Of course, your speaking skills are very important because that's what is going to keep you in the game. That's what is going to make people see your video and get inspired. And that's how you're going to perform very well. However, what I understood is they pick up stories, they pick up people's journeys, and they want them to bring those journeys and those causes to the stage. And for that, you need to be consistently doing it so that your audience is not confused as to what you're doing and what you're not doing. For me, I work a lot on academics, I work a lot in the educational industry, I work on bringing a change in the educational policies, especially in Maharashtra, where I'm based, because I think mindset is a very important part of every person, and it should be a part of the curriculum. And I've been consistently working with people, and I think that's what helped me to put my case when I applied for TEDx. The experience was amazing. The rehearsals that happened, the professionalism that follows, people who come and want to listen to it's really really nice. They really put you on that stage where you feel great and out of the world. So that experience was amazing, but that came when we put in a lot of consistency. Be visible. Visibility is in our hands. We have to be visible. If you're doing something and you're gone for 1 week and then you come back, you're confusing your audience. Don't do that. Be there for your audience because they're looking out for you. And that's how TEDx happened to me. And for the latter part of your question, that how do I see it impacting my speaking journey, it has already started impacting because that word still matters a lot. It has helped me to reach at causes which otherwise I would have not been able to. So it's going great. It's just a month, I think, not even a full month. So I'm still waiting, working in that direction, and hope to do good with this tag of a TEDx speaker.
We are waiting for the link as well of your TEDx speech. And meanwhile, we have question from Rama Prasad. What has been your that one aha moment for you as a professional speaker?
Uh, Thanks, Ramaprasad, for that question. The one biggest aha moment for me was when I first did my keynote speech, and just like any other speaker, I wanted to be very, very perfect. I didn't want the two things that I am an extrovert on the stage, but an introvert. Otherwise, I never wanted it to be mixed. But the aha moment was when I was before the speech. All these participants and speakers meet, and I was meeting, and everybody and somebody through somebody got to know. A person got to know that I had been an introvert all my life, and he came to me and he asked me how overcame this situation. Now, initially, I was not happy that he got to know. Yeah, but then he asked me about how I overcame because he wanted to know the reality of it because his daughter was also going through something like that. And that was the aha moment, that he's not here because he want to hear a great speaker and a perfect speech. He is here to find answers for himself. And that was an aha moment, that I need to bring my reality if I really need to connect with those people. Because that day when I spoke to that guy for around 20 minutes, I still am connected with him. So that's the power of authenticity, which I learned so many years back, and I still like to carry it with me always.
Awesome. And Shrenik says, Esther, as always, insightful talk. Congratulations.
Thank you, Shrenik.
And Dr. Alka Chadda has to say, you are totally inspiring. We love you both. You are. There's some problem on my screen. I'm sorry. Esther, you are totally inspiring. Purva, we love the way you are hosting. So proud of both of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so now talking about the mindset, you just said that you work with lot of academic institutions, and you work on the mindset transformation and empowering women and youth. So, how did you arrive at your niche?
uh, Takes me back to a lot of experiences which I had in my life, Purva. The way our lives are evolving and the rate at which it is changing, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's really, really phenomenal. Everything is so fast and fluid that I call this life as a fast and furious times. I am a fast and furious fan, so I call it as a fast and furious times. Um, that it is nothing like how our parents and our grandparents lived. Uh, they had a more stable life. We have lived with our grandparents, we have spent vacations, and we've seen that they had a more stable and a fixed kind of lifestyle. Get a job, and then you retire, and then you get gratuity. Yes, but nothing like those times are here. We do not live in those times now. And so uh, so many changes have happened, and with so many changes, it is easy to get overwhelmed and intimidated. especially for the women and youth. uh, they need to have, okay, before I say that, my niche lies with working with women and youth, uh, because they need to have something which can give them a bearing, something which can help them to point in the right direction. They need that. And that is something which is, I feel, uh, I missed myself most of my life in my growing up years. So my niche has come from the lack that I felt uh, growing up as a youth, where I wanted to speak to somebody, get clarity, but it was not available. That time it was not considered a good thing talking about mindset, but it is not there anymore. And then as I came and picked up a career and started building my business, as a woman, I realized that I needed to talk to somebody. And that's why it's from the lack that I had that I picked up as my passion, and to impact lives. uh, because if I would have got that help, it would have helped me tremendously. I would have started much earlier, I would have impacted a lot of lives, but it didn't happen. And that is the passion which I bring to my niche every time I connect with my audience. It's the way for me to give back to the society from the lack which I had. So that's how I picked my niche.
Okay, Rama Prasad says that's awesome. You solve problems, the true outcome of a professional speaker.
Thank you, Ramaprasad.
Amit Anjan has a question: how to make oneself as inspiring speaker as you are?
Hi, Amit. Amit is my friend. So thank you, Amit, for coming here. As aspiring as I am, you have seen my journey, Amit, and you very well know how authentic and straight, word to word, I am. And I think that's what a lot of people have started liking. A lot of people have started liking that authenticity. Bring that to the ground, and everything else falls in place, is what I feel. And rest everything is kind of learnable skill. Bringing something from your heart and being yourself is the most important part. Do that and everything will fall in place, Amit.
Okay, Captain Asha has a question. Wonderful to see you, Esther. I need to know how you really grew with your fear and phobias, and today, how do you solve them all?
uh, Captain Asha, you know me, and I've had, to be very frank, I've had a very, very difficult life where I was an extreme introvert. I had fear of facing people, and this was on a lot of things. Bad experiences were on till I was about 22, 23 years old, when I lost my mother. And that's when I went under depression. And when I went into that condition, I was a bad person. I was really a bitter and a bad person. And being hurtful to myself, and being on different stages of grief, that was all right. But together with that, I was also hurting a lot of people who were connected with me. I was hurting the relationships. I was hurting people who cared about me. And that was an alarm. That was a bulb on moment for me. It was an alarm for me that it's enough. I have to do it. And so I shifted my career from being an HR to a mindset transformation. I took up the courses. I got a mentor. I took up a lot of certifications on mindset and how can I come out of it. Worked on myself for a couple of years, and then when I was out of it, I decided that I will do the same for a lot of people who were in my place like I was. And that's how I began my journey, Asha.
Okay, so the next question is tell us a story from your speaking career where your authenticity saved your day.
I think the story which I shared with Ramaprasad was one story that saved my day. Another one was at the summit. We know that I hurted the speaker chair with a bottle, and I was sulking. I was really not okay. And I had a speech, I had people to face, and the best way that I could face it is was convert it on the and look at it from the lighter side. And that's where I shared openly with my audience that this is what is the guilt that I've been living with from yesterday till today. So they knew that I was on a shaky ground. That was the authenticity that day that I brought. Saved my day, got a standing ovation, and everything was perfect. So yeah, that's how it was.
I have been the witness throughout.
Absolutely.
Okay, is there any questions from the audience? Please type in. We are here to answer your questions. Any more questions? Okay, so now between training, coaching, and speaking, what would be your pick and why?
To be very frank, although I'm speaking on a professional speakers platform, training would be my first pick because it helps me to stay connected with my audience much longer. We are doing a long process of bringing in transformation, and so I'm not on the stage for 1 hour or so and I'm out of it. I am building a connection, and that is why the training is my first pick. After that, it would be speaking.
Okay, now since we are talking about speaking, just give me your insight on why should aspiring professional speakers join the PSAI? What is it all about?
Like I said, we all have very good content. We all have stories to share. We all have a cause to bring it to the world, and all of us are working really, really hard to bring it. However, if it is not brought in to your audience, um, the right way, the way you should express it, your message may miss its mark. You may lose that important time which you got with your audience. And that's where professional speaking comes into place. Why should you join PSAI? Because this is one platform that is helping you hone those professional speaking skills. And as when I entered PSAI, I didn't know this, but you connect with speakers globally. You get an insight which, if I would have not joined PSI, I would have not got access to these certified speaking professionals and speakers around the world, and I would have taken another 10 years to reach where I have reached now in just 1.5 years. And that's the time that it saved me. That's the effort that it saved me to put in. I could learn a lot of additional things because I was getting a lot of help from PSAI. I knew whom to reach, when to reach, and what was happening in the professional world, professional speaking world. And that is why, guys, whoever is trying to be, who's aspiring to be a professional speaker, I think you should have a look, join the community, because there are a lot of people who are ready to help. There is a big platform for you to explore. You will be amazed that uh, you do not know as much as professional speaking industry holds for all of us. And that happens when you're in the like-minded community. And that is why I think you should join a community like PSCI.
Absolutely. I totally second that. Now, Rama Prasad has another question for you. How do you manage professional speaking and your personal life? How does your family support your professional speaking career?
uh, my family knows that I'm on a mission, Rama Prasad. Thank you for that question. It is never possible without the support of those loved ones who are backing you, who are filling in for for you, and taking up that place for you. From your child to your husband to your extended family, from the help that comes in, I think we have to learn to be okay to take help, especially women. We have that mental thing that I will do everything, and if I will not do, how will it happen? You will have to come out of it. If at all your passion is bigger than anything else in your life. And so it automatically falls in place. Your support system, I have a support system of my family, my help, my extended family, friends who step in, who takes place to take care of my child or when I'm traveling outside. And that's how it's pretty much easy now. It's flawless. I didn't hear you.
Ractim has yes.
I think
Are
I'm
we good?
losing. Am I?
Okay, Raktim has a question whether how many approximately speaking engagements you had done and which were the topics.
Raktim, thank you for your question. I think in the last 2.5 years, I have done around 7 to 8 speaking gigs because my major work lies in training. I work a lot with corporates, and so yes, speaking gigs. I do not actively look for speaking gigs, but now since TEDx is on my tag, I'm thinking of doing it aggressively. That's how it is. I missed the latter part of the question, Purva. Can you repeat? Was this the question?
Okay, you had which were the topic? That was the question.
Okay, my topic is about creating breakthrough. I speak about moving from chaos to clarity. My another very important topic is to write your own story. I strongly support that the stories that we write stands for us and works for us, and so that is another topic. Another very important topic that I speak about is emotional mastery because that's where we lose the fight most of the time. So it's all around the mindset topics, Raktim.
Okay, and another question that Raktim has is he has done talks on digital technology related topics, how to move towards paid speaking.
How to move towards paid speaking? I think, Raktim, the best thing is to look for speakers on call. Start talking about the work that you're doing on social media. Trust me, it works. When you start talking about your work, the efforts that you're putting, the area, the niche where you're working, start talking about it on your social media platform. The world has become very small and people are watching. Even if they're not commenting, they're watching. And that's where it helped me to pick up speaking gigs. There are a lot of places, speaking bureaus, where people enroll. However, the best way is to look for call for speakers, apply for it. Even though it doesn't get selected, keep applying, and also speak about your work on the social media platform and keep a record of it because these people ask for what have you done. And that's how I picked up, that's how I reached for TEDx, and it worked for me.
Okay, the next question is from Dr. Alka Chadda. Do you ever find the balance between home and professional life?
Always, Alka. I always have a balance between home and professional life. There are times when my child needs me and I say a no to my work. Yes, so that balance is very, very important. That's how you stay nourished, right? That's how you nourish your soul. If there is an imbalance, I may not do justice to one of it. And I don't want that to be a reason to impact my speaking, or I do not want the other side to feel the heat because of my absence. So yes, I try to balance it always, sometimes even by bribing my son, but I still try to balance it always.
Okay, I completely agree with you. We women all the time try to balance the responsibilities at work front as well as at home front. So, yes, there has to be a balance. It's very, very important. Okay, it's hard. Yes, it is. But here we go.
It's hard. Who said it's going to be easy? It's never easy. It's never easy till the very last day of our life, but that's what makes it beautiful, right?
Absolutely. And now we are moving towards one segment. which everyone looks forward to in a talk show, which is a rapid fire round.
And yes, and the guests are the most scared at this time. I understand.
Are you scared?
I am nervous, Purva. Yes.
Oh, that's a new thing that I am seeing now. You are
Yes,
nervous. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready. Yes.
Okay. So the first question is, what never fails to make you laugh?
What never fails to make me laugh? All right. Two things. One is the famous sitcom Friends. I can watch it over and over and over again. I've got a collection of it. So the sitcom Friends is we're die-hard fans of it. It never ceases to make me laugh. And the second is Hera Fairy Part One. I can watch it endlessly and keep laughing, and it just never gets over. Yeah.
Okay. The second question is, if you were to write a book, what would that be about?
Yes. If I have to write a book, I would like to write a book about my mother, because it is her life passion which I made as my passion, and I carry her legacy of impacting lives. And so I would like to write a book about her, because I learned to live with an open heart from her. So I think my first book should be about her.
Okay. Are you more of a thinker or a doer?
Tell me, Purva, what could be my answer? You're my best friend here.
This is your rapid fire round, though I know the answer.
I'm out and out a doer. I follow the adage of jump and then make your parachute. I have no plan B. I do not have a plan B. I always have plan A. I do, and I start thinking how to make it work. I think, yes, but I am an out and out doer who thinks to make what action I have started taking. That's how I do things.
What are the least likely three words someone would use to describe you?
Okay, the least likely, the first one would be nobody will call me an extrovert. Uh, we all know that. Yeah. The second one will be I'm not kind with words. I say it as I think, I say as I feel. I have a problem of filter, and so I'm not kind with words. People won't call me kind with words. And yes, I think I would not be described as dishonest, because I'm straight out honest, truthful, uh, to an extent as bad as it gets, but it has to be honest.
Okay, and the last question is, what is the kindest thing someone has done to you?
Oh my god, this question, I think I get kindness every other day with the people I interact with, when they give me a hug for the simplest thing that I have said or done, which I don't think is very big. So to pinpoint one kind thing, I think I don't have any, Purva. I really don't have. Every day people have been kind to me, and I'm really, really grateful for that in every small, big possible way. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. That was rapid fire.
Yes.
You have always been on fire, so rapid fire meant nothing to you. Okay, I think Adir Mathur has a question. What do you do to hone your skills, which has made you such an impactful speaker?
Other sir, thank you so much for that question. I know you personally, so thank you for that question, sir. I have practiced a lot. I have put myself into odd spots. I speak and see what I do not like about myself, and I work on that. And I ask for harsh truths when I speak on stage, from the most difficult people who can give me feedback. And that's what I don't take it personally, but I take it as a step forward. So I ask for a lot of feedbacks, and I make an effort that I can work on those feedbacks. really considering that it's for my good rather than judging that feedback. That's helped me, sir. I like to stay intact and updated on my knowledge of mindset, of neuro linguistic programming and neuroscience. That gives me the confidence that I won't goof up on the stage, and then I practice how will I deliver. That's what I do, sir.
Perfect, perfect. There can't be any better answer than this, how you hone your skills. Okay, so before we wrap up, it's time for me to tell our audience my two key learnings out of this session. The first is speaking from heart, because when you speak from heart, you reach more hearts. And second is authenticity. Your authentic being will always save you, whatever matter it is, whatever situation it is, because your authenticity is something that makes you a person, a unique person. So these are my two takeaways. Type in your takeaways from today's talk show. I believe a lot of people will agree with me. Oh yes, Dr. Alka says no plan B. Great answer. That was a spot on. All right, so this is the time to say bye bye to the great audience. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, motivating us, inspiring us, and being with us throughout. This is Purva Bhatt signing off. Thank you. Good night. Have a great weekend ahead.